everyone in the WNBA, all these black women in the WNBA who got no attention, they couldn't do anything for their sport. They are bitter and jealous as hell over Caitlin Clark. We continue to see these players in the WNBA attack Caitlin Clark ruthlessly, whether it's in the media, whether it's on social media, or whether it's on the floor. And once again, we saw that last night. A cheap shot that Caitlin Clark got hit with that, even though so many WNBA players have said, oh, Charles Barkley's not right. We're not petty. We're not jealous. We're nothing like that. That you got people like Angel Reese celebrating as her teammate takes a cheap shot on Caitlin Clark. And of course, the Chicago Sky end up getting beat in the game by the Indiana Fever. But this was all over social media yesterday. Caitlin Clark hit with cheap shot as Angel Reese cheers. That's just not a basketball play. So now, we've talked a lot about this, how so many people seem to despise Caitlin Clark. This is Kennedy Carter. It's spelled Kennedy, but it's pronounced Kennedy because, of course. Here she is, very upset with Caitlin Clark, calls her a bitch, and then takes a cheap shot.
Which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
And you can see, when you see this play, you can really see there's nothing. It's not in play at all. They're waiting on the ball to be in. That's where you can really see what an unnecessary shot it was.
It's egregious for sure.
And listen, we see cheap shots in the NBA. We see this stuff. You know, you get a tech, you get a flagrant, like whatever. There was just a common foul called on this. There was no tech. There was no anything. It got upgraded to a flagrant 1 eventually. But one of the most interesting things, here's Angel Reese. And I despise Angel Reese. I think she's a dumb bitch. And look at her after Caitlin Clark gets a cheap shot. What happens? She pops up and celebrates for her fucking thug piece of shit teammate, Kennedy Carter, taking a cheap shot on Caitlin Clark. Yet she wants to pretend like she doesn't have any animus towards her. It's insane.
On the bench, nonetheless.
Yeah, on the bench, clapping and celebrating a fucking just like complete cheap shot for no fucking reason.
I could be wrong, but in the NBA, aren't you supposed to not get on the court in the NBA? Won't you get in trouble for that? Because it looked like she was actually on the court. I know this WNBA, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think even in the NBA, you have like a toe there, and it's during a dead ball. Like they're probably not going to do too much. The purpose is
unless you're Tim Duncan.
Yeah, the purpose is if there is a fight, they don't want anyone from the bench getting out and getting involved. That's kind of like the purpose and why that rule got instituted. But I don't think anywhere they're going to call you for a toe like that for a dead ball. Right. But yeah, I think you're right, John. Technically, she should not put a foot on the court.
Unless you're Tim Duncan.
So going back to what you were saying, Charles Barkley said that there's not any kind of racist animosity towards Caitlin Clark?
No, Charles Barkley called out these WNBA players. He said, all you women, you've been waiting to have all this attention. Caitlin Clark's getting you this, Caitlin Clark's getting you that, and you're all just bitter, jealous women. That's what Charles Barkley said.
Okay. It is, man. Like, these WNBA players have been crying for attention. They've been crying for equal pay for the NBA, equal to the NBA. They've been seeking this kind of attention, and they're finally getting it, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because why? Because the most popular player in the WNBA is a white woman.
I told you guys last week, these players are more interested in being victims rather than getting paid. They don't want to get paid. Yeah. They don't care about the money. They care about being victims.
Yeah, they would rather be a victim if it's a white woman that's going to get them their attention, right? And they're taking out on Caitlin Clark. This happens to rookies. This happens to people in all sports, right? They come in, they get, they've got a massive audience. They got a lot of people paying attention to them. You're going to have a little bit of bitterness, resentment, jealousy. It seems like it's next level with Caitlin Clark. Look at Dave Portnoy. Angel Reese celebrated a blatant cheap shot like she won a title. Here it is. Look at this. Like, that's celebrating her fucking taking a cheap shot on Caitlin Clark. It is wild how happy these women are to see a white woman fail or fall on the ground. Now, they ended up winning the fucking game. Indiana Fever ended up winning the game. And Kennedy Carter refuses to answer any questions about this entire thing for some reason. After this cheap shot, she didn't want to talk about it. Watch this.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the Fever score.
I didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
Well, she called her a bitch, you lying fucking sack of ugly dog shit. First of all, you did call her a bitch. But yeah, I'm going to take a cheap shot. We're all going to celebrate that I took a cheap shot, but I don't actually have any comment on that.
Yeah.
But she did decide to comment on social media. WNBA player who hit Caitlin Clark likes gross tweets mocking the cheap shot. Here's some of them right here. Kennedy, get her one more time for me. This is a crazy-ass flop. No one should have fallen down like that. Yeah, I fear I'm a Kennedy Carter stan forever now. That one's not too bad. Stop bumping them motherfucking gums then. Found the right one. Let them know, Hollywood. Put Caitlin Lil ass in the basket. Caitlin don't want smoke with Kennedy Carter. Hashtag Chicago Sky.
There is a common denominator. There's a common there's a common denominator between a lot of these Twitter accounts who are tweeting these things against Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it's no doubt that a lot of woke black people hate Caitlin Clark. Like that's what we're seeing right now. They'll do everything to cheer for her to fail. Now it's crazy that somebody who probably makes fucking $60,000 a year has Hollywood as their fucking name in their social media handle. That's Kennedy Carter. Now I don't know if she's going to get fined for this. What does a fine look like? $25 game check for these women? I'm not sure, but it's just fucking insane that this is the level of vitriol that these women who have been begging for attention forever. This is the level of vitriol they have against a woman because she's straight and because she's white.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I said it, man. The WNBA is more woke than the NBA. The NBA, who won the title last year? It was a white guy from Denver, and the players weren't losing their mind because a white guy from Denver won. Now, Luka's in the NBA Finals now.
Kendrick Perkins was a little upset about the MVP.
Well, he's not an active player. He's not an active player. So, but you got Luka this year.
It's all the same.
Yeah. And Luka's going to be in the finals this year. I mean, I don't know if he's going to win or not, but I'm pretty sure if he wins, nobody in the NBA is going to be complaining about a white guy winning the title.
I mean, this goes without saying. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if the roles were reversed and there was a
they'd be calling racism everywhere.
And there was a white player who happened to, have a flagrant, complete uncalled for body shot on let's say the most popular black athlete in the WNBA. Jamil Hill, everyone in the media would just be, screaming at the top of their lungs about it.
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of the media, a lot of the black people in the media, a lot of the woke black people online, they want to see Caitlin Clark destroyed. Like, you're so stupid and short-sighted, because the reality is this woman is giving the WNBA better viewership, more attention than it's ever had in history. And that rising tide will lift all boats. Mm-hmm. And if you're too stupid and short-sighted to understand that, I think, John, you're 100% right. They're more interested in being victims than actually being successful.